Thank you once again for joining me on this autumn evening. I'm going to sing you a song about Thanksgiving, all about this time of year, about the autumn, and how lucky we are to be alive and have this banquet of living. Once again, as autumn winds are blowing by my window, once again another season's circle almost closed. Once again a time to recall how often are we really grateful for what our lives are given. Once again as golden apples fall into the basket, misty mornings when fresh mushrooms grace the meadow green, when starlings gather as clouds in the evening, then for life's banquet let's give thanksgiving. And in the winter evening when log fires are crackling, and when the howling gale lulls the land to sleep, and when the lashing rain rattles on your window pane, then tell the angels that you're still living. And then the soft spring sunshine will bring you laughter, and then the woodland fairies will dance around your feet. Because in season when we give thanks for life in its own time will set us free. Because in season when we give thanks to life in her own wise time, we will see. So in that song I sang about angels and fairies. I honestly believe in angels and fairies. I believe in spirits. And I come to that belief because I feel I can substantiate it with my physics. You see, if every subatomic particle of matter is a whirlpool of light, the critical feature of that whirlpool that causes it to be in the reality we're in is its speed. And as I said in the previous talk, there's nothing here, there's nothing in the whirlpool that's actually spinning. It's just pure spin. It's energy that's no thing. It's energy that has no material substance, has no mass. And the Aboriginals said that we live in a dream state because these subatomic particles of matter are more like particles of dream than material reality. They're more like acts of imagination, acts of consciousness. And what really matters in these particles is the speed. And this is what Albert Einstein established, that the speed of light is the sole universal constant for our reality. But I argued that if our world is formed out of whirlpools of light and waves of light, whirlpools of energy and waves of light, in which the speed is the speed of common light, would it not be possible to have other worlds, other realities formed out of higher speeds? You see, the Aboriginals taught that we live in a dream state, and there are other dream states, there are other levels of reality. And it's a bit like going, when we go into a dream in our sleep at night, well, there's nothing there, there's nothing substantial about the world we enter when we're in our dreams, and yet whilst we're there, it's so real. When you come out of a dream, you feel you've been in another world. And maybe we have been in another world. And maybe when we leave this world, maybe it fades away like a dream as we step into another world. So we can't be sure, if you like, it's speculation, but I believe it's possible that there are other worlds formed out of energy spinning, in which the speed of the energy is faster than the speed of light. Now, because all speeds go from 0 to the maximum, if there were worlds based on slower speeds than the speed of light, they would be part of our reality. They would be part of the physical universe. But if there are speeds beyond the speed of light, then any worlds formed out of whirlpools of energy, I call it super energy, beyond the speed of light, would not be contained in our world. The reason is this, that space and time are formed out of the vortex. Space and time is an extension of vortex energy beyond our perception. Just as matter is formed out of the vortex, it's the vortex energy we perceive. And so, if you have energy beyond the speed of light, then that energy would create vortices and waves, but they would set up their own space-time continuum, which would be apart from our own. You see, according to the laws of relativity, you cannot have anything in our world moving faster than the speed of light. That doesn't mean there can't be other worlds in which the underlying speed is faster than the speed of light. But if that were so, you imagine there's a world based on twice the speed of light, for example. Because our world is formed out of the speed of light, and this is twice the speed of light, our world would be part of that world. Because the speed of light is part of twice the speed of light. Lesser speeds are part of greater speeds. So this is a fundamental law of reality when you're talking about movement, which is basis to everything, because energy means movement. It means the activity within. So that lesser speeds are part of greater speeds. So if there is a world based upon super energy faster than the speed of light, our world would be part of that world. Now, just as there are beings in our world formed out of vortices of energy in the form of atoms and molecules and crystals and cells and bodies, there could be beings in these other worlds formed out of the vortices, formed out of atomic and non-atomic matter, which they call plasma. And they would see us, if there were intelligent beings formed out of whirlpools of super energy, they could see us, but we couldn't see them. That's the point. They could be all around us because our world is part of their world. But we wouldn't be aware of them. And you know, what I'm saying is the only separation between these other beings is a factor of speed, not space and time, because space and time is created by the vortices in each dimension, on each level, in each dream state, if you see what I mean. So it's interesting that in the lore that comes from ancient times, in the old folklore, in the religions, the spiritual beliefs, people believed in spirits. They believed in angels and fairies. And what they said is that angels are all around us, but we're not aware of them because they're moving too fast. And also they used to say that there are fairies at the bottom of the garden, but you don't see them. We don't see them because we're too slow and clumsy. Isn't it interesting that these myths, these fairy tales, if you like, that we dismiss in our so-called material society, secular society, that they recognize the separation between us and these spiritual entities was a factor of speed. So I want to probe these ideas a little bit deeper in my next talk, but I just want to leave you with this idea that it could be that the world we're living in is embedded in a greater world. And I want to talk about soul, and I want to talk about spirit as we come in, and again, base all my ideas on the fundamental principles that come out of this new vortex physics. So stay with me, and until we meet again, namaste.